Hey everyone, it's Akshay here and welcome to this video series where we'll be creating the water cycle in Ready. So let's take a look at the final project. So here we have the sun, and here we have different background items to decorate, and here we have water droplets. So let me restart the scene. So once we hit play, we can see that I can move the sun around and evaporate these rain droplets to go up, and once enough rain has collected at the top, has condensed, we can click on the clouds and it will start precipitating. And once we move the sun up to the clouds, it stops raining and the water droplets are back at the bottom. So now we can do this again by evaporating the water. It condenses at the top, the clouds form. Once we click on the clouds, it starts raining, and once we move the sun back up to the clouds, it stops raining, and there we go. The start of the water cycle again. So let's take a look at the steps we need to take in order to make this. So in slide 3 of the presentation, you can see the steps to build this project. In step 1, we'll make the sun object and give it the drag behavior so we can move it around the scene. In step 2, we'll add the raindrop object and turn on physics so it drops. In step 3, we'll give the raindrop behaviors and create the raindrop class since we're going to have many raindrop objects. In step 4, we'll add a top object and adjust its position and size to fit the width of the screen. The top object is right behind these clouds right here. In step 5, we'll give the top shape a counter behavior and rain effect to be activated whenever enough water droplets collect at the top and we click on the clouds. In step 6, we'll add our first event 1, which says move drops up when touched by the sun. And this is when you saw me moving the sun across the bottom of the screen. Whenever the sun hit the water droplets, they were moving up to the clouds. In step 7, we'll add the cloud and set it to hidden and add it to the cloud class since we're going to have multiple clouds covering up the top object. In step 8, we'll place the cloud in the UI layer and stretch it and copy. We'll have it in the user interface layer so it doesn't interact with any objects in the scene, and because we will be interacting with it and clicking on it after it has condensed. In step 9, we'll add event number 2, add 1 to the top counter when collided with drop. So whenever the sun moves across the bottom and the water droplets hit the top object, this will add 1 to its counter. Event 3 will say, whenever the counter reaches a certain number, it will display the clouds on top. In step 11, we'll say start rain when the clouds are touched. In step 12, event number 5, we'll say clear the sky when the sun touches top. We'll move the sun to the top and it'll clear the sky. In step 13, we'll make the top object 0% opacity and decorate our scene. So why we want to make it 0% opacity is whenever we start the scene, the clouds are going to be hidden. So we don't want to see that rectangle being seen under the cloud, so we'll set the opacity to 0. And we'll decorate our scene as I did with mine by adding different plants at the bottom or anything you want to do. So let's go ahead and get started in making the water cycle. Okay, so here I have a new project. In step 1, let's add our sun object. Let's go into the library, go into basic shapes, and here let's drag out a circle. Let's go into its appearance, name it sun, turn off its solid property, and change its color to a yellowish orange. That should be good. And let's give it the behavior drag. Once you've added this behavior and click play, you can see that you can move around the sun freely. Since it's really big, let's also make this a little bit smaller. And once you have that done, you'll be done with step 1.